welcome to MGTracey. Exciting day today, it's a chocolatey day and we're going to be trying out a chocolate fondue. Today we're going to be looking at making our first chocolate fondue, and we've got one of the little smaller fondue makers here. You can use this to make cheese fondue or chocolate fondue. If you're going to be making chocolate, then there's a few things you need to have ready, because once the chocolate is ready, it's ready pretty quickly. So if you're going to go with fruit, you want to have fruit that's not out of the fridge, because the condensation of cold strawberries or raspberries will just cause the chocolate to fall off. So you can get that all cut up and ready. You're of course going to want some sticks to do your dipping of chocolate in. You can add cream as well if you want to make a bit more of it, or you can just melt the chocolate, which is what we'll try today. Obviously we like Cadbury here in the UK. In the States it tends to be Toblerone, I think, is the most popular one to melt. Buttons are much easier to melt, and so I've got the giant version there, but you can just use an ordinary bar of chocolate and break that into bits. You have to be careful when melting it, and it might need stirring as well if you're not using cream and stuff. And say we've got our mega marshmallows to try as well. Okay. I've got the instruction manual here, but it's pretty straightforward, so let's get cracking. I'll put the links below where you can buy all these bits and pieces and your fondue maker. So the first thing we need to do is get out of the box, give it a little clean. This one comes with some heart moulds, which is probably very handy for Valentine's Day. So you can either use it just to dip in the bits and pieces that you fancy. I don't think you can beat marshmallows really, can you? But you've got a whole host of other things, from strawberries, apples, bananas. Some people even like broccoli, but I'm not going to try chocolate broccoli. That's a step too far for me. This little set, you have got some tools to help you there and help with the dipping if you want to. And obviously you can scratch off some wallpaper afterwards when you finish with that. Actually I prefer to use wooden sticks for this. So we'll just undo this all here. So first thing, we just need to give the unit a quick rinse out. This gets quite hot, so I'm not going to put it on the work surface. I'm going to raise up on the metal here. So let's give this a little rinse. So for our little unit here, the capacity is 200 grams, and you need to put the chocolate or whatever cream, whatever combination in before you plug it in. You don't want this to get hot and heated up without any product in it. So it says put about 160 grams in, so this grab bag is 240, so it's a little bit over half of that. And just put half that in. It's important not to overfill this, you don't want chocolate coming down over the electric bits there. There we are, that's fine for that. She'll have a little spoon already in case we need to stir. So that's dead easy. So you start it off on the lower setting, and the two settings here do different things really, depends on the consistency. If you leave it on one, you're going to get a very thick, viscous, sticky chocolate. If you go over to two, it's going to be a bit more runny. Maybe what you're used to with a chocolate waterfall or chocolate fountain. So we should put that in there. Can't quite make it out, but a little red light has come on there, so we know it's heating up. And we're going to go over to 1. So this next stage takes about 5 minutes, but do keep an eye on it. What you don't want is the bottom of the chocolate to burnt in to your little compartment. You need to keep moving it around so that the chocolate melts evenly. While you're waiting for the chocolate to melt, this would be a good time to cut up your fruit or to get your marshmallows ready. because once that chocolate is ready to go, it stays that way for about 10 minutes, so you want to make sure everything else is ready for you. And I can see that the bottom chocolate is starting to melt nicely in there. This has got to be the simplest treat to make any sort of dessert, isn't it? Who can go wrong with dipping chocolate? If we come here close, you can see after 3 or 4 minutes how this is all starting to melt in, so I'm keeping stirring, keeping an eye on it just to make sure that the chocolate doesn't burn on the bottom. And I've now got all my things cut up ready to go, so that once the chocolate's ready we can get straight on with the dipping. So we're about 5 minutes in and you can see how well the chocolate is developing here. You can see we've got about half of the buttons melted, so I'm going to carry on stirring. But the one thing you really can't appreciate is just how wonderful that smell is. My goodness me. Can you almost taste that at home there? There is a bit of an advantage to this over having a chocolate waterfall or chocolate fountain, as we call them in the UK. In order to get the chocolate to flow, you've really got to mix in quite a bit of olive oil. So that you have to be very careful with that, because that can give you some unexpected side consequences. If you start mixing too much olive oil in, you'll spend too much of the next day in the bathroom. Also, there's a lot of cleaning up with a waterfall. This, you have just got your one little pot, and in order to clean it, it's some warm water so the chocolate will wash away. It's not ideal in a dishwasher, so just some warm water, washing up liquid, and a little wipe round with a microfiber, and that's all there is. So it's very quick to clear up. So I think that's about there actually. So that's taken about 8 minutes, and I have flipped it to the high setting for the last few minutes just to get that ready. So I think, yeah, I think we're about ready to start a little bit of dipping there, which is fantastic news. So if you're going to move that to another room, make sure you turn the unit off, which is on this particular model is in the middle. I'm just going to turn it down to 1 to keep it warm for a little bit while we're playing here. This bit, obviously you can now lift out, that needs to go onto something that can take the heat. It's very warm on the bottom, don't put that straight on your table. And then you can start sort of dipping from there. I'll keep it in the pot for now, and we'll slide. And we've put the switch to number 1. So we can try a piece of banana, see how we get on. There we go, how about that? That is terrific, isn't it? Put that there. And we charge. Now we'll try everybody's favourite, the marshmallow. Who doesn't want that as dessert? What a party. That's just amazing, isn't it? So there we go, that's wonderful. Okay, now if you wanted to pour this to make your own little chocolates, obviously we've got a mould here, I've given them a bit of a rinse out. And these ones, which is handy for Valentine's Day, the ones that comes with are hearts, but you can buy these, I'll put the links below where you can buy these. Now this one is just a question of pouring the chocolate into the mould.
People talk and tell what you wanna hear now, but they all disappear. They will let you down.
Probably a little bit better than I'm doing. I'm going to flip that off of the wall now. And we've got our little special scraper here. We'll just try and spread that out a bit there. We can level that off.
We only need the two of us together. we got love.
So I don't think I'm going to win any awards for the finish here, but these will be wonderful Cadbury's Chocolates hearts. And that just needs to go in the fridge for about 10 minutes. And they should then just pop out. And you can do other things. You can put hundreds and thousands in the bottom of this tray before you pour the chocolate on. Give you a different top there. Wonderful. We'll put that in the fridge. Okay, so I've just eaten enough chocolate, I think, to keep the Cadbury's factory going single-handed for the next year. So I'm going to go and run on the treadmill for 20 minutes to burn that off. But I did just rinse that under the hot water tap, and it's as good as new. So when it comes to clear up, this is so much easier than a chocolate fountain. You know, you're looking at a couple of minutes under the hot water tap, dry it, box it, it's already away for your next party. Hope you found that useful. Any questions, pop them below and I'll try and answer the next day.
'Cause we got love.